What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's government has announced its roadmap for reaching net zero carbon emissions by 2050, joining the international effort to fight climate change. Our reporter Bing Wang has the details.
Fulfilling a pledge made by President Tsai Ing-wen on Earth Day last year, Taiwan has officially released its roadmap to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050. It's part of a global effort to reduce the impact of climate change and to build a more sustainable environment. The main feature of the roadmap is to increase the country's renewable energy supply to at least 60% by 2050.
I want to assure you that we are doing everything we can to stabilize electricity supply. We also plan to further strengthen our energy infrastructure, including, of course, the grid, while navigating the transition to more sustainable and renewable energy sources.
According to the latest statistics from Taiwan's Bureau of Energy, 5.5% of Taiwan's energy is from renewables, 44.9% is from coal, 35.7% from natural gas, and 11.2% from nuclear power. The government plans to spend 900 billion Taiwan dollars or $31.5 billion US dollars by 2030 to diversify its renewable energy sources. Taiwan's National Development Minister says it will take the effort of both the public and private sectors to achieve this goal. This is the first major plan Taiwan has announced to reach net zero carbon emissions. While environmentalists welcome the plan, they stress that it won't be without its challenges. Chris Ma and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
For more on Taiwan's net zero carbon emissions plan, we spoke to Zhao Jiawei, professor of climate change and sustainable development at National Taiwan University. He says the goals are not ambitious enough.
Although we say this plan have some positive side, but they also have some dark side of this plan. The first thing is that this plan, they don't have a very concrete coal phase-out date yet. They only say by year 2050, all the coal-fired power generation will become the back-out only by year 2050. But according to my research, if we want to reach the net zero by 2050, we have to fully phase out all the coal generation by year 2035. So this plan, although we set out a target for the year 2050, but we don't upgrade our emission reduction target for year 2030, which contradicts to the global practice. The government still say, okay, for the year 2030, they are still keep the original target, which was reducing 20% of the emission compared to the 2005, which is not ambitious enough because according to my research, we have to reduce by 40% by 2030.
Taiwan's Railway Authority is compensating the families of 49 people who were killed in a train crash last year. The Taiwan Railways Administration, or TRA, said Thursday it's paying a combined total of 150 million Taiwan dollars, or about 5.2 million US, to the families. The announcement came nearly a year after the derailment of the 408 Taroko Express on April 2nd, 2021. The accident took place when the train plowed into a maintenance truck that had rolled onto the tracks. Criminal proceedings against the truck driver and his assistant are still underway. A lawyer for the family, Smita Chan, spoke on Thursday about the Railway Authority's planned payout. She says it's not just about compensating the families.
给付总金额是1.5亿的一个惩罚性的赔偿。台铁得要在每一次事故付的比一次还要多，并不是说每个家属可以分到多少钱或这样的概念。我们其实很希望做到的是，让台铁知道，你其实要引以为戒。
Taiwan recorded 239 new cases of COVID-19 on Thursday, a record daily high this year. 87 of those cases were local infections. Officials are now boosting safety measures for the nation's biggest religious procession, the Daca Mazu pilgrimage, which kicks off in a little over a week. Participants will now have to roll up their sleeve and get a booster shot. Fiu Wan has the details.
Every year, the Daca Mazu pilgrimage is Taiwan's largest religious and cultural event. People pray to the sea goddess Mazu for good fortune. This year, over 1 million people are expected to participate in the 8-day event, which begins on April 8th. But first, attendees will need to get a COVID-19 booster shot. The Central Epidemic Command Center announced the requirement amid a soaring number of new COVID-19 cases in Taiwan. The booster mandate has led to a surge of people rushing to clinics.
工作也有关系，然后还有包括我今年也有去绕境，
都有配合每年的大甲妈祖的绕境在做执行。
有规定说一定要施打完第3剂才可以参加这个活动，的确是还蛮多人就是一直打电话过来说要施打疫苗。
怕3剂鬼，另外怕3剂鬼。
Only people with proof of a third vaccine shot will be given a participation pass, and devotees must apply for a pass ahead of time. On top of that, costumes like pelicans robbing and crawling beneath the pelicans are still banned this year.
防疫中心有这指示啦，照政府的指示，因为这个疫情的关系，咱一定要较用心的。
With these measures in place, participants in the event can safely receive the blessings of Matsu. James Reiner and Phil Wayne for TaiwanPlus.
A major food award, Asia's 50 Best Restaurants, has labeled 2 Taiwan establishments as being located in Greater China. During the award ceremony streamed on YouTube, the 2 restaurants, Logi in Taipei and JL Studio in Taichung, were initially identified as being located in Taiwan, but they later appeared on the official list as being in Greater China, placing them in the same location as restaurants from Hong Kong and Shanghai. That's despite the fact that Taiwan is governed separately from China. Internet users later noticed that the official Twitter account for the awards also deleted tweets about the 2 Taiwanese restaurants. That has led to concern about possible interference from China. The Sydney Opera House is one of the most popular tourist sites in the world, but a visit is often marred by seagulls. A waterfront establishment has come up with a way to deter the feathered intruders. Alice Jen has more.
Racy, an Australian kelpie, is a regular along Sydney Harbour, right by the world-famous Opera House. But it's not just fun and games. Since 2018, dogs like Racy are officially in this area chasing away seagulls.
Oh, they love it. A lot of the times people look at you with confusion for the first hour of your shift, trying to figure out what you're doing. And then you'll go on your 5-minute break to take the dog to the toilet, and you come back and they're like, oh, that's what she's doing, because the birds come back. So then they generally pull you aside and they're like, oh, this is amazing.
Hired from a private service, there are some 13 patrol dogs on rotating shifts throughout the week. They are trained to drive away unwelcome birds that prey on the meals of waterfront visitors.
We do use your dogs that already have a temperament that's more inclined to chase things, I suppose. So like your working breeds, like your kelpies and your cattle dogs and stuff. So they've already naturally got that instinct. We kind of just tap into that and let them chase the birds.
Although costly, with a price of nearly $133,000 US a year, the Opera Kitchen manager says it is worth it. Needing to recover from lockdown restrictions, the Sydney Opera House is renewing the dog patrol service for 2 years. And with the birds on retreat, that should mean a more pleasant dining experience for harbor visitors. Alice Zheng for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. I'm Ethan Liu. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today we leave you with some images of the Winnie Biennial Art Expo in New York. This year's focus is on different generations and the link between past, present, and future. Take care, and I'll see you next time.